Now I broke up with a girl I still love. Listen to my sad story. How would you act in a similar situation? Should I be so broken up about this loss? I'm 35 years old, unmarried, no children. The girl, Olivia, is a year older than me. She has a daughter from my first marriage, 7 years old. A long time ago she used to be the prettiest girl in art school. We knew each other a little then. I admired her and she didn't seem to mind me. Many years have passed since then. Olivia once saw a photo of my paintings on a social network. I am an artist. I run a page. We added to each other's friends. 6 months later, she decided to divorce her husband, filed for divorce, and came back from another country. That was 3 years ago. Turns out she now lives in her sister's apartment across the street from my house. And her parents live next door. We started texting. We saw each other later. She is still as incredible as before. She has a wonderful daughter with whom we immediately became friends and whom I later came to love as my own daughter. We dated for the next year. We liked each other. Everything was great. We had some fights. I had a lot of friends, just friends, and she didn't like it. Later, I stopped talking to them. We lived apart. I painted, sold my paintings through foreign galleries. Olivia worked and is now working as a copywriter. Her daughter went to kindergarten in the same apartment complex across the street from my house. I was going to propose to her, but there were some changes with my sales. Working with galleries became more difficult. There was an unsettling unknown, but I was hopeful that things would get better with the galleries again. To distract myself, I bought a cottage in the countryside near the river. I prepared it for the summer so that everyone could vacation there, made furniture, installed a shower. Olivia helped paint it and make it cozy. We spent the next 2 summers there. The same summer I started working in the organization. I programmed hardware. After all, I am a mathematician programmer by education. A year later in the fall, I proposed to Olivia. She agreed to marry me. I even wanted to adopt her daughter, but we found out that it was impossible without the permission of the birth father. I tried to make money and decided to take up farming. Some experience of raising poultry for a couple of years formed. In the fall and winter, I built poultry houses in the village and adjusted the automation. I discussed with Olivia that they would move in with me, but first I wanted to get everything up and running and start earning money. She understood and everything was fine. Then in the spring we had a big fight. Usually her daughter's father would come on vacation and take her daughter either to his house for the day or they would go out somewhere. That time he came to their house and they played there. Olivia didn't tell me or consult me beforehand. It made me angry and we didn't speak for a week. And I think that's when things started to go bad. Olivia became irritable, distant. I asked what was wrong with her. She said her ex-husband was being a pain in the ass or she was just in a bad mood. Later she said she wanted to move in with me before her ex-husband came on vacation. By this time I was starting to get my farm produce sales up and running and I was making a profit. I wanted us to finally start living together, but she was freaking out. We had a fight. Then we went ahead with plans to move into my apartment. We lived in the country for the summer. I have a big apartment with a good repair. I freed up the room with exercise equipment and made it a nursery for my daughter, but Olivia began to make a lot of demands about what exactly should be ready for their move. I thought everything was great. My daughter would finally have her own room. We could move in and get cozy together. After moving in with me, Olivia became even more irritable, saying she was stressed from the changes. We gradually had sex once a month and the move didn't change that, but I wanted her all the time. I hoped that gradually everything would get better. I bought and assembled the necessary furniture. I gave Olivia flowers all the time. I sent Olivia money for expenses once a month or so. I'd get up before everyone else and make breakfast. I'm a good cook and I did most of the cooking. Playing with her daughter in the evenings, putting her to bed. Olivia stayed cold for some reason. When I tried to hug her, she would say something rude, no sex. At some point, I got upset. I started asking her what was going on. I can't do this. I want you every day, don't you want me? She wasn't very verbal in her answers. Then she said she was ready to leave me if I was so tormented by it. Then she said no, she wasn't ready to lose our great relationship. I stopped cooking. I didn't feel like it. I was sad. And then one morning, Olivia took the dough out of the freezer so I could make croissants. I told her I didn't have time. She threw the dough in the freezer in annoyance, and I realized I couldn't do it anymore. I realized she didn't love me. And I can't marry a cold girl. I don't want to. But also how to break up I did not imagine. I love her madly and love her daughter. At that moment a girl wrote to me. I've been subscribed to her for a long time. We began to communicate with this girl, then began to see each other, and I decided that if I leave now, this communication at least a little bit to smooth the pain of parting with Olivia. I got up the courage to tell Olivia that I wanted to break up. She cried, said she didn't want to, and I spent the next week trying to get home as late as possible. I practically didn't respond to her texts. It was brutal and I regret it now. I hung in there as long as I could, remembering the last 6 months. I came home one night. I tried to hug Olivia, but she had already talked to that girl. She found out about our interactions. I didn't cheat, but we kissed. And the next thing I knew, Olivia told me we were breaking up. My daughter cried and said that she loved me, that she wanted to stay with me, that she needed her daddy, that she wasn't going anywhere. I hugged her and cried and told her I loved her. The next few days, while I was at the farm, Olivia and her dad were moving things back to her sister's apartment. I held on. That girl texted me saying she didn't want to hang out anymore. She was upset about talking to Olivia. I deleted the text, deleted her cell phone, and never mentioned her again. But when they moved out, I was in unbearable pain. I began to write to Olivia that I had made a mistake, that I had lost the most precious thing, that I loved her and her daughter madly. I asked her to forgive me, to give me a chance. I offered to go to the marriage. Olivia said that she didn't trust me anymore, but later she thought a bit and said that maybe there was a chance if we went to a psychologist. The psychologist said it was both of our fault, but we would be great. Olivia, in response to the psychologist's questions, said she was willing to marry me if I would remodel the bathroom, put a tub in instead of a shower. Such a weird condition. The next day I started to do it all. I sent Olivia pictures of sinks and bathtubs she chose. Before New Year's Eve she came and looked at it, criticized it, spoke again about distrust, that she would come back and I would leave her again. I tried to change her mind. Then I realized I was getting tired of her terms. I couldn't take it anymore. I stopped texting her. A couple days later she wrote to me asking if I was ready to get married soon. I said yes again. I was happy. Everything seemed to be getting better. But after the New Year holidays she began to answer short, long, once a day. To see her she refused, citing the busyness or that not feeling well. So I decided to leave her alone. After a week I couldn't stand it and called. I told her I missed her and asked her to come over for dinner tonight. She answered very coldly. I realized that's it. I can't go on like this. I don't want to. I didn't write or call anymore. It's been a month. I don't visit her page anymore. I deleted the photos in my phone. I hid her friends. I threw everything out of the house that could remind me of her. I quit smoking. I got my weights back, started working out almost every day again. I changed my closet. I got a puppy. Started learning to play guitar. One of the galleries wrote to me and now we are drawing up documents and a new contract. Most likely I will be able to sell paintings through them again. Sometimes girls I know write to me. But I often think about Olivia and realize I should have organized the wedding sooner. I'm afraid to see her with someone else. I try not to think about her. I try not to think about her. But when I do, it hurts and it hurts and it hurts. But hope lives deep down somewhere. I can't get it off. Though I didn't feel any warmth or feelings from her. All the initiative came more from me. And she only accepted my advances. Maybe I should be so sad. Probably ahead of me waiting for real bright emotions with another Olivia. I need to get out of my head. Out of my heart. She didn't have any passion for me. She didn't care about me.